What's up, everybody? Welcome to T-Town Media, guys. We got a hell of a show for you guys today, or video. But as you guys can see here, I got my main man, Coach Carl, on here with me today. Appreciate you getting on here, brother.
What's going on with you, John, man? Nice to be on again, man, to talk some football.
No doubt. So what we're going to be talking about is the soon-to-be hired, right, Coach Derrick Nix coming over from Auburn to be in the replacement of Jamarcus Shepard as the wide receivers coach at Alabama. Look, we're not talking specifically X's and O's here, but the impact from the recruiting standpoint as well. Obviously, I wanted Coach Carl's opinion strongly on this because he has a lot of knowledge when it comes to Derrick Nix and these guys. But with that being said, before we get started in today's video, I want to give you a huge shout out to Coach Smith with, the big donation to the channel coming through the Cash App. So I just wanted to give him a shout out before we get started on this thing. And if you guys are looking to support the channel as well, the info for that will be in the description below. We just use the Cash App or whatever. So I've had plenty of people asking about that. But let's go ahead and jump into this, Coach Carl. Look, we knew that losing Jamarcus Shepard was going to be a hit from the wide receiver development standpoint. But for this channel, following recruiting, we knew it was going to follow that as well, which was the recruiting aspect. Now, what I did not expect is to sit there and see that Derrick Nix is going to be the guy to replace Jamarcus Shepard. Because I was like, okay, this may not take any hit at all from the recruiting standpoint, if not have an uptick, to be completely honest with you. Just give me your initial reactions for Alabama setting to hire him after this college football playoff run is over with.
Hey, John, I think it's phenomenal, man, for the simple reason that he's not a stranger to the SEC. He's not coming in the SEC trying to learn how to recruit the SEC. He came in, he coming to Alabama to make Alabama wide receiver core better.
Yep.
It's not gonna fall back. It's not gonna take a deep dive. Everybody's already committed. He's gonna stay committed. There's gonna be some guys that we wish we had got, in the last few cycles, that's now going to be favorite to Alabama just because of Derrick Nix. So this is phenomenal. The crowd is huge, man. This is going to be a monumental pickup for Alabama. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, so what a lot of people don't know is, number one, his track record starts off in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, there in Southern Miss, climbed the ranks, played in the NFL, comes back, and look, climbed the ranks. He's been going for 16 years strong now. And when you're talking about the tenure he had at Ole Miss and then at Auburn, coming in with Hugh Freeze. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Hugh Freeze and all that stuff. Look, don't look at that. Look at the wide receivers, because Singleton, Cam Coleman, those dudes, they look pretty damn good to me. But, man, the recruiting is what I'm most excited about from the Alabama standpoint, because this is not a guy, just like you said, that's coming in and learning the SEC. This is a guy that's tenured in the South, not just the SEC, but when you're talking about, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where he has the strong ties with the head coaches there, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, this guy already has his roots implanted right in the SEC already. So, and like you said, and I think another big piece of this is going to be the transfer portal, right? So a lot of guys that maybe didn't think about Alabama before that knew Derrick Nix may be swinging over to Alabama. Not that we don't have a deep wide receiver room already, but look, you always want those. You always want as many as you can get from that standpoint. Get your take on that.
Yeah, the crazy part about it, John, you think about the guys that just jumped in the portal from Auburn. Just think about those guys. And they were still here, and the likes of Cam Coleman may jump in the portal. Still have Singleton out there. We wanted Perry Thompson in the beginning. He wanted us, but then he decided he wanted to go to Auburn. We still have a chance now. If we wanted Perry Thompson to go out there and try to get Perry, but we still have a really good chance to get Singleton to mix with that wide receiver cool. And then if we can get Cam Coleman to get in the portal, we know he's going to probably come to play for Derrick Nix. That makes it even better, man. And then the fact that other wide receivers now been struggling this year, so Nix comes in January, and then that kind of solidifies us, keep for those guys from jumping in the portal. So it's huge, man. I can't lie, man. We still gonna lose some guys in the portal, but I think with them hiring Derrick Nix, it's gonna make it easier for us to keep most of our guys out of the portal at wide receiver.
What I love about Derrick Nix too, number one, you're bringing in another, I would say, player-led coach, right? So he's really involved with the players. I know when you look at a lot of the recruits that he brought into Ole Miss, same thing with Auburn, by the way. The recruits and the families were heavily involved. The mom was always involved. The dad was always involved. And the first thing you always heard out of those players' mouths was, he's a family-driven coach. In other words, he makes sure that he's not just going after the players, going after the family. Like I said, he's a player first kind of coach when it comes to that standpoint. I know people are going to have a mixed bag of feelings on that. I personally like it because that's going to bring you in a lot of talent. And you know what I mean? And not every mom is going to want to hand over their child, right, to just anybody. But when you got somebody, Derrick Nix, that has that track record of doing the right thing, developing these guys, putting them in the NFL. And look, he can be hard nosed as well, by the way. When you look at his track record at Auburn, and especially at Ole Miss, by the way, he's a hard driver on that practice field, getting up and down, screaming, bringing that intensity that a lot of people have been saying it's been lacking from the Alabama standpoint. Well, guess what? Derrick Nix is about to bring that. So just from that standpoint.
Yeah, and a lot of people they may say he can't develop. Well, like you said, he developed Ole Miss wide receivers, right?
Bro.
Yeah, he done had the likes of AJ Brown. He done had the likes of Elijah Moore that got drafted in the first round by the Jets. Like he done had some talent at Ole Miss that he had to hone himself. Like he really had to bring the talent in, and then he had to grow the talent himself. He had to develop the talent and then put the talent on the field at the right time so that they can kill those guys confident where they can go out there and produce. Now they're doing the same thing at the highest level in the NFL. And I think he just literally just got what announced in the Mississippi Hall of Fame and did something in the Mississippi Hall of Fame. So you got a coach, man, who's gonna ride you hard. He's gonna ride you hard, and you're gonna have to give him 100%. If you don't give Derrick Nix 100%, you'll be on the sideline. It's not that sugar cold. Well, I recruited you. I'm bringing you. I'm gonna give you the reps. This, that. No, he ain't doing that. You producing, you playing. You're not producing. You're gonna sit until you can produce. He ain't gonna be the guy to come in there gonna tell your mama no lie. If he gonna tell your mama that he gonna come in, he gonna work hard. We're gonna train him. He get his opportunity, and that's what he gonna do. He's a family guy, like John said, man. But a lot of people don't understand nowadays. You can't just recruit the kid. You got to recruit the whole family. You're recruiting the family. You're recruiting the school, the administrators.
Yep.
Like everybody has to buy into these kids nowadays, man. Because if one little thing is off, the kid might not commit to you. This guy here gonna lock down Alabama.
Yeah,
like we just lost the number one wide receiver in the state of Alabama this year. He's going elsewhere, right? He's going elsewhere. That kid there may have stayed at home if we had already had Derrick Nix. Because Nix recruits Alabama first. He's going to recruit Alabama first, and he's going to start here and work his way out. Coach Mo, all those guys are phenomenal. Coach Shepard, one of the best I ever seen. They recruit outside in.
Yep.
They're going to start out west because that's what they're known. Like everybody knows them out there. So they bringing themselves in, which they'll look here with Courtney, but those guys starts on the outside and work their way in. He's going to start in your way out. So we'll end up getting some of the guys that end up going to Texas, the guys that end up going to Ohio States. Like we'll start by getting those guys, some of those big time Florida recruits that we've been coming in, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas recruits that were coming in that built the standard back. We'll start getting some of those recruits back first.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's a shame when you talk about which is the most known one, Peter Woods leaving Alabama going to Clemson. I feel like Derrick Nix, he did a great job at Auburn because if you remember Hugh Freeze's, I think it was his second year, maybe his first year, he locked down almost the entire state of Alabama, and all the Bama fans were complaining about what? Why are all the best Bama players going to Auburn? That's exactly what Derrick Nix is going to bring back to Alabama. The best Alabama players will be showing back up to Alabama. Now, they're not leaving this state. They're not going to Auburn. I know he came from Auburn, but from that standpoint, and also, by the way, guys, a kind of a side piece to this, Derrick Nix, in my opinion, could be that Ryan Grubb replacement in waiting. He has plenty of experience. He's done all this before. So they would make it just an easy transition if you know that the possibility of losing Grubb is coming up here soon to kind of slide in Derrick Nix and give him that position. And look, we keep saying he's already done it in the SEC.
He's already done it. We already lost Nick Sheridan. So Nick Sheridan is co-offensive coordinator. He's gone. Derrick Nix come in. He can be the co-offensive coordinator now. We just had to find a quarterback coach, but he coached tight ends, wide receiver, all offensive plays with last 3 games in Auburn, and he coached running back. So we have a kind of like a quadruple threat here. This guy knows how to call plays. He knows how to train wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. So, I mean, if anybody decides to leave and go with Shep right now, or say Groves take a job and go somewhere else, we already have a OC in the building. You don't have to bring one in. You already have one. So it's like it's a home run hire, man. It's a home run hire, John. I don't care if it comes from Auburn. It actually came from Ole Miss.
That's the way I
And
look
Ole
at it.
Miss.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
went to Auburn because of Hugh Freeze.
Yep.
Went for Hugh Freeze, he probably still been at Ole Miss. So cool. Hey man, this is big time for Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer did his thing right here. So all this talk, this, that, whatever it's gonna be, this guy here, man, he the right guy for this job at this moment. Like we needed Derrick Nix.
One quote I wanted to that I saw from a coach that described Derrick Nix was when Derrick, talking about the recruiting standpoint, when Derrick Nix walks into a living room, he doesn't have to sell dreams. He shows receipts of what he's done. So, I mean, that's huge. If you ask me, you're talking about coming into the SEC and staying in the SEC like he's doing, right? So it kind of solidified himself from that standpoint because, like I said, the recruiting aspect is what I'm going to be most excited about. And then, look, we lost Jamarcus Shepard and we lost, obviously, Nick Sheridan. But I think one of the most and biggest pieces that we did lose that nobody's talking about is Aaron Hodges, which is one of our biggest recruiting coordinators, right? So, I mean, all that, well, more than a recruiting coordinator, but you guys get what I'm saying, like from the standpoint of going out and finding these recruits for Courtney Morgan to evaluate and piecing everything together. So you bring in Derrick Nix, and guess what? Like you said, he's kind of a jack of all trades. He kind of fills in that piece as well. So I don't know. I'm excited about the hire. That's all I know.
Yeah, man, John, me too, man. I'm telling you, dog. Like Shep is a West Coast guy, so Shep recruited the West Coast. He brought in the phenomenal West Coast talent, and they did their thing. But now you're talking about SEC coach. This is SEC guy.
Yeah.
This guy here knows how to develop. He knows how to recruit the SEC. It's the Southeastern Conference, the southeastern part of America where we be dying to make sure that we can get all the recruits, man. We be on these screens, man, and we be hollering. You gotta recruit your state.
Yes.
You gotta recruit Georgia. Why we ain't getting Florida? We ain't had that top flight receiver out of Florida in years, man. Like, what's going on? We get an opportunity now to get a coach that can go in the house in South Florida and get a Malachi Tony.
Yeah.
Malachi Tony don't say, nah, Derrick, I'm not coming to Alabama. He's like, okay, Mr. Nix at Alabama, you know. We can come in there and take a look at this one. Yep. These guys we need it. Like we need those Mara Coopers again. We need those Jerry Judas again.
My goodness,
we need those Alabama Julio Jones again. Like we don't need Cam Coleman in Auburn. Like we should have had Cam Coleman in Tuscaloosa, right? Like we got CD Morgan, which was proven in Alabama Mississippi game that he's gonna be a big time red zone threat.
Absolutely.
But yet and still CD Morgan, Cam Coleman together. Special.
Either way, let us know what you guys think in the comment section. If you have already, make sure to like, share, and subscribe and all that good stuff. Follow us on X at TTownMedia25. Make sure to follow Coach Carl at KD Taylor, or Coach KD Taylor. There we go. Almost forgot that part. So either way, appreciate everybody getting on here, listening. Other than that, see you guys next episode. And as always, Coach Carl.
Roll down tide.
Roll down tide.